think, you know, and that's where young salespeople really go off the rails, is they think their job is to sell something, when really your job is to become obsessed about your client's problems.
Yeah.
And if you become obsessed about them and you're like, hey, let's go solve this other problem for free. Let's solve this other problem for free and this other thing for free. And we just go free, 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 free. And then the next thing is to buy your product. And that, if that solves their problem, then it's an easy sale for you. Like you made the sale long before you ever got to the product, you know, by investing in that relationship. And so, you know, real estate's a great example of that. You know, like a lot of people are trying to sell houses. It's like, are you helping your client? What do they want? Where do they want to be in the next 3 to 5 years? You know, what is that? Are you obsessed with that? Because that's one of the first questions we ask is, in 3 years from today, what would have to happen for you to get where you want to be?
Yeah.
That's the start of the conversation. If I don't understand that, then it doesn't matter what I'm doing for them today if it doesn't get them there.
How do you structure your sales script? So like, it's a bit of a hard thing to say, because I assume every industry is slightly different, every client is slightly different. But how do you build a sales script that's going to be successful, or gives most chance of being successful?
So I think what we do is I build what I would call funnels,
right,
and value ladders. That's how I think about clients. Funnels and value ladders. A funnel is an online system to bring in the right people, right? And to give them enough value so that they, you know, can inquire for your product. I personally love Google search for that reason, is because you're actually going after people who are looking for you. They're looking for what it is that you provide. So if you know, like what you're doing, you offer enough content or whatever that is to help them respect what you do. You know, you're telling them all about what you are, what you do, what you believe, all that stuff. And so content's a great way to do that. And then as you bring them in, is give them enough value to keep going down that funnel. You know, and sometimes that sounds really manipulative, right? But it's not meant to be manipulative. I think, you know, all sales is some form of manipulation, but the question is, are you manipulating people for something good or bad? You know, if it's for good, I think everybody's okay with it, right?
Yeah.
So you bring them down that system. And so what we do is just constantly try to be obsessed with that process of getting in, answering their questions when they need it. And so by the time somebody gets to me, they've been exposed to other salespeople in our office, you know, online content. They've seen so much that's kind of, most of my work has been done. You know, the credibility, all that stuff. So by the time they actually have a meeting with me, it's kind of, I don't want to say easy, but it's just relationship building from there. You know, like, hey, let me understand where you're at. So I don't know if I answered your question, because you're talking about sales scripts. It's I think the best scripts are just questions.
Right. So why don't you tell me about your creative agency at the moment that you currently own and are running?
Yeah, I can say that 98% of our business is we receive from online. So we practice what we preach, which is use the online world to meet people. You know, in the old days, if I wanted to sell, you know, I worked in the mall in high school. If I wanted to sell shoes, I worked in a mall because that's where everybody hung out. I see the online world very much the same way. Is you have this online mall essentially where people are looking for, you know, stuff, and that's where we get our business. That's what we do. And then most of the people that find us are searching to build, they would say, an app. They want to build a piece of technology, right? And that's where they come. But what they really want, what I found, and has a lot to do with our content, what I've really found is they don't want to build an app. They want to build an app business. And the problem is all my competition thinks they just want to build an app.
Right.
And they have not keyed into that. And that has been absolutely the secret to our secret sauce, is how do I solve all the problems around the business that they're trying to build? And yeah, we're going to build the technology. Yeah, we're going to do those other things that they asked us to do. But we're helping them raise money. We raised $9 million last year for our clients. And people would say, how much did you charge for that? Nothing. We just gave them all the tools. We pointed them in the right direction. We did everything we could to make that possible for them. And it helped them meet Mark Cuban. It helped them meet, Ashton Kutcher, amazing, Peter Thiel, these amazing icons. I didn't know them. They met them through the tools we gave them.
I love the name dropping. I love the name dropping that you.
Oh, I have to, right?